you are a PalFish teacher, you would know this struggle. I'm going to talk about my personal approach to writing detailed after-class reports that will help you retain regular students, boost bookings, and save time, because it takes me about 1 minute to write each report. Watching playbacks of every single one of your classes can be very time consuming. But again, you don't want to write a generic report for each student. Some reports give you that option to just click on the words that the student did well on and the words that they need improvements on. But as it stands right now, those automated reports don't always make a lot of sense, and a lot of PalFish teachers don't like using them. Whether you decide to use them or not, that's your personal decision, but you also can't avoid that sometimes you get that blank slate that says 200 words needed. Sometimes, of course, you know exactly what you need to say to the student, especially if there's a very specific problem or something that they did extremely well on. But a lot of PalFish teachers have regular students that you see 2 or 3 times a week, maybe even 4 times, or every single day. So finding new words all the time for these after-class reports can get a little bit tricky. I'm going to show you how I spent about 20 minutes one time to save myself forever from that dreaded, what do I write? Or how should I word this dilemma. So you can use it too to save time, avoid penalties, and still impress the parents with a detailed after-class report. Before we go into the classroom, I'm going to show you the preparation that I've done. I always use my Notes app in iCloud, and I use my Notes app personally because the notes that I type on my computer will automatically go into my phone via iCloud, and I find this very beneficial because I'm a lot faster at typing notes on a computer than I am on a phone. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. You can just use an old-fashioned pen and paper, or you can create a spreadsheet, but I basically break every single report down into 4 categories. The categories that I use are listening and speaking, vocabulary and pronunciation, grammar, and reading. If you have an idea that makes more sense to you, then go for it. And you can share your ideas below if you want to help someone else out. But these are just what I've found work best for me. Regardless of what you decide, I always find it easier to categorize your reports. It's just more consistent for the student, it looks more professional, and it's actually more time efficient for you. Now, I'm also going to show you this list I keep in my phone that just contains like keywords or synonyms for good job, because when I started, I felt like that's all I could say is good job. And then I'm also going to write down some common errors and just little things that I've noticed from teaching ESL for the past 2.5 years. So I always know that these things do come up and they do happen, so I only have to word them once or twice, and I'll keep them in that folder as well. So some other ways to say good job. Good job, excellent work, way to go, well done, outstanding work, tremendous job, nicely done. You're getting better and better, you are learning fast, so-and-so is coming along nicely. And then I have some encouraging filler words as well. So like, wow, super, congratulations, beautiful, bravo, way to go, keep it up, outstanding, marvelous, and good for you. Alright, so it's nothing crazy. It's not like you've never heard these words before, but sometimes if it's like 6 o'clock in the morning and you've been teaching back-to-back lessons all morning, it can sometimes feel like you're repeating yourself a lot. So it's good to have alternatives just for backup. Okay, so now let's go into my classroom and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so before I start my lessons every single morning, I just write down the times and the students' names in my Notes app on my computer. So my phone is set up here, so I'll just go through my appointments and write down all the times. So say I have 5 o'clock, Leo, 5:30, Maria. Okay, these are not my real students right now that I'm basing this off of. Okay, so if I were just to be doing it on a pen and paper, I could just write them down here. Now, while I'm teaching my class, throughout my class, I kind of just update this list with tiny memory joggers. So I won't write full sentences, of course, while I'm teaching a class, but if I'm noticing that the letter R is a bit tricky today, I'll just write down an R. If the student is having a difficulty with the word mouth, all PalFish teachers know, then I would just write down mouth really quickly, okay? And then I would do it without them noticing, mouth, okay? And I write it down as they're saying. So I do this throughout my classes. What the point is to just write down little tiny notes that will jog your memory after the class. Then immediately after my class, I'll go back through these really tiny notes and then just expand them a little bit more. I never take more than 20 seconds to do this. I do it super quickly. This way I still have time to prep for my next class and get a glass of water or go to the bathroom, feed the dog. Okay, I don't have a dog, but I'm sure a lot of people do. But even just to stand up and walk around is super important, as we all know, and our time is extremely valuable in between our classes. And I only just fill out these sentences a little bit more. So at the end of like 4 hours of doing this, it doesn't all just look like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, and they'll be able to understand my own notes. Then I do this for all of my lessons. So right after all of my lessons are done, my notes kind of look like this. So then I go into my keywords and my filler words of encouragement and quickly put together some full sentences about these personalized notes. I finished my entire chunk of reports in about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm done for the day. Then at the end of my lesson, my notes look a little something like this. And it's all in my phone thanks to iCloud. So I'm able to just copy paste these notes here and paste them into the PalFish app. It's very rare that I have to go back into my classroom and watch the recording again, because thanks to my little memory joggers and my keywords and my words of encouragement, I can kind of use all of those and blend them together to make a nice little after class report for my student. I do have to say, if I'm having a very difficult student or a very difficult class, the note that I'll put in is just rewatch recording. But it's very rare that that happens, and I definitely don't have to do it for every student. Anyways, I hope this video helped, even in the slightest. I know sometimes as an independent contractor, it's like, I wonder how the other people are doing it. So that's just the way that I do my reports. If you have a better way, then sure, go for it, or just let us know in the comments below what your best way to do these reports is. And thank you so much for watching this video, and happy teaching!